What is good, everybody? AHS Rules back again with another video, and we're here for another Ring of Honor TV review, episode number 63. Like last week's episode, an extremely quick episode, also like last week's episode, took place at Daly's Place. I've made note over the past month or so that the AEW, and by virtue Ring of Honor scheduling over the past month or so, has been a bit conflicting due to having to tape things at different times, and so it just feels a little bit all over the place right now, and this episode kind of felt like that as well, but it's understandable in the grand scheme of things, so I'll go over everything that happens in this episode of Ring of Honor, and then that would be the video. So the first thing to happen is a backstage promo from our Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, the Undisputed Kingdom. Matt Taven is upset that someone was talking about them last week, referring to 2.0, who was looking to challenge for the Tag Team Championships in the future. And he insinuates that they're not a proper tag team anymore and not on the same level as him and Bennett, as Matt Menard did not even know that Cool Hand And was contemplating retirement, and that Matt Taven and Mike Bennett know everything about each other and what they're going to do next, even when one another are going to go to the bathroom. And Mike Bennett wraps the promo up mentioning that he hopes that Cool Hand And is a better father than he is a wrestler. So we'll see what happens when these two sides meet face to face. When will that happen? We'll see. The first matchup is a 6-person tag team match. Taya Valkyrie, Mercedes Martinez, and Diamante versus Lady Frost, Layla Hirsch, and Abaddon. Taya Valkyrie and Lady Frost start the match off, but frequent tags are made a lot in the beginning of the matchup. The most notable thing is Abaddon biting Mercedes Martinez. Martinez spends a lot of time battling Layla Hirsch until Hirsch lands a German suplex, in which almost everyone joins in the match, with the match ending with Diamante hitting a sunset powerbomb off the second rope onto Lady Frost to pick up the victory for Valkyrie, Martinez, and Diamante. Next matchup is a quick matchup. Blink and you miss it. I just tried to film this video, and I kept saying click. I messed up the whole sentence time and time again, so I'm glad that I made it right. I'm just extending this much longer than I need to, but it was Anthony Ogogo and Ziggy Dice. A headlock exchange from them both in the beginning leads to much of nothing in the match because Ogogo hits a right hand, massive right hand, very similar to Shane Taylor, to win the match via TKO or KO. Which one was that? I guess it contemplates us both. With Ogogo getting on the microphone after the match, asking for someone to get Dice out of this ring. He runs down the accomplishments that he has, and then, I won't lie, I didn't feel like writing them all down, and that he also mentions that he is still the newest member of Shane Taylor Promotions, which was the main reason I was mentioning the right hand, because Shane Taylor does one as well. We get a backstage promo / interview with Rachel Ellering, admitting that things have not been going her way over the past recent number of matches. I'm not going to say they've completely ignored the Ellering and Hirsch tag team, but since the tag team, or I almost said tag team tournament, but the women's TV title tournament, I don't think have crossed paths that much, or if at all, and Hirsch competed on this episode. But again, like I said, Ellering is just frustrated with how things are going, and Maria pops up, who offered mentorship to both Hirsch and Ellering, and bets that Ellering is regretting her decision and not taking any advice. And she mentions that, I have no clue of this unless I'm just overthinking, but Maria mentions booking and running a women's wrestling company, which I don't know if she's referring to the ROH women's division in 2021, because I know that she was she was in charge of that women's title tournament in 2021. I don't know if that's what she was referring to. But anyway, she was saying that it essentially went out of business and it didn't work out. And essentially that women wrestlers don't draw. This is her words, not mine. And that Rachel Ellering does not draw as well, which was a bit harsh. So that was a crazy segment. But again, that's what happened. This was a good matchup next. Kiera Hogan versus Ashley Boyce. Maybe proving Maria wrong. Because like I said, this was a good match. Back and forth with drop kicks from both and clotheslines. Kiera fires up with forearms to set up a hip attack and a drop kick for a 2 count, but she does win the matchup with hitting Face the Music. Nick Comoroto. This is a slight issue I have with ROH. That things are so, like, on and off again that it gets a bit forgettable and things drag out. The main event matchup and is a exact example of this. So this segment that I'm about to talk about is another one because Nick Comorato's not on TV every week. He's like every other week sometimes, so it gets forgettable. So he has been wanting to align himself with Jacoby Watts, which, again, to be honest, I still have no effing clue who Jacoby Watts is. And so in this backstage interview, Nick Comoroto is asked by the interviewer, are you aligned with Jacoby Watts? And he says that he is. And then he praises Jacoby Watts. And Jacoby Watts comes and starts saying I don't know what the hell this is. I don't think I will ever know what the hell this is. And I'm not going to say, it would be difficult to be over something that I never was into to begin with. Next is a 6-man tag that was a bit of laziness. Lance Archer and the Righteous versus 3 question marks. Now, why I say 3 question marks is because Archer and the Righteous attack their opponents before the match even begins and before the names can be even announced, and I don't know their names. Ian Riccaboni was like saying their names, and I don't know a lot about Motley Crue. I remember they performed on an episode of Raw in 1998, which is not on the network. You gotta watch it on YouTube. Shout out Wrestling Bios, that's how I learned that. But again, I don't know a lot about Motley Crue, but the whole matchup was Caprice Coleman and Riccaboni making Motley Crue references. So the opponents' names might have been in reference to that. I don't know. It was a quick matchup. I spent a lot more time thinking about this than I had to, with Archer and the Righteous winning after the Orange Sunshine and Archer blackout. Next is a Proving Ground match, the first one in Billie Starkz' women's TV title reign against Dream Girl Ellie. Athena coaches Starkz early to show some fire, and that's what happens with Starkz landing lots and lots of kicks, and even locking Ellie up in the corner and continuing to kick while the referee is not looking. And Starkz wins the match with a neck breaker. Or as Ian Riccaboni said, he did not say it in this exact tone, but I've been waiting to say this name of this move on this channel for a long time because I just think it sounds so fun. Yushika. So that is how Billie Starkz won this Proving Ground match. We get a backstage interview with the Premier Athlete brand and Smart Mark Sterling, or Mark Sterling, whatever you want to call him, and that the Premier Athletes have plans and that they're going to inform the fans of the competition that they want to face. The notable names that I took down were the Righteous and the Infantry, but most notably that Tony Nese and Ari Daivari want the tag team titles, while Josh Woods wants the Pure Championships, and that they are embodiment of the 3 A's. Anybody, anywhere, and anytime. It is not as good, and you're not getting it as over as the 3 I's: intensity, integrity, and intelligence. I remember that by heart. As we get to our main event matchup, Angelico and Serpentico versus Griff Garrison and Cole Karter. I have no clue how many times this match has happened. I know at least this is once. That happened at Supercard of Honor. I feel there is another match. There's definitely that 8-man tag that set up this whole rivalry. And like I said, this shit, and I said, I meant to say that because I'm so upset with it, has been going on and off for month after month. And the way that the freaking show finishes makes me think that it's going to continue. And again, like I said, I'm over it. I'm really over it. We get an immediate start once they hit the ring, and it takes on to the outside, but Angelico and Garrison are the first 2 legal competitors. Karter and Garrison keep Serpentico in their corner for a majority of the match. Serpentico tags in Angelico. Angelico holds the ropes open for Serpentico to hit a tope suicida, and Angelico wins the match for the Spanish Announce Project with a cradle roll-up on Karter. So the SAP finally get their victory over Karter and Garrison, and Marie was so upset about it that she threw Serpentico's mask back in the ring, and Serpentico grabs it. Yes, we can wrap this up. It's over. And then Cole Karter and Griff Garrison attack and throw Serpentico into a chair and get the match. They lost the match. they got the mask back. Hooray. Y'all didn't even really need to lose it. Like I said, this has been going on, I don't know how long. I might look back. I'm not looking back right now, but this has been going on for so long. I really like the competitors in the match. I'm ready for them to move on to something else. It is what it is. So, I have no clue what happened on next week's ROH. I got distracted by my TV. That was it for this episode. I really like this hat and shirt, so I was also admiring that as well. Again, I need to quit over talking about some of this stuff, so it is what it is. This video is done. I do appreciate y'all for watching all of it. If you did, thank you. Like and subscribe. Stay safe. Have a fun weekend, because the Friday's done. Friday's not done. This is the start of Friday. Like and subscribe. See you when I see you. The video's done. I gotta push the button.